Hey guys, we're going to talk about the Convoy S2 Plus. Got this one from Gearbest for $14. Paid cash for it. It was not provided. I bought this flashlight for a couple of reasons. Mainly after doing a lot of research on budgetlightforum.com, I saw this is just really an absolutely beloved flashlight amongst the community for a couple of good reasons. So I had to give it a try. It's 15 bucks. That's a really awesome price point for such a bright light, and I had to try it out for myself and see, is this garbage or is it gold? So let's talk real quick. Now, I'm not going to do the numbers on this flashlight because there are literally a million versions of this. Now, the cool thing about these Convoys is that they come in every flavor you can possibly imagine. They come in 2 or 3 different LEDs, all different emitters, and all that. So people can kind of buy them how they want them. Now this one here is one of the more powerful ones that runs at 2 amps. I believe it's the XML2 LED, and I'm not sure what emitters it has, but it's around an 800 lumen flashlight and runs around 2 amps, which is pretty neat. It takes 18650 batteries only. It will not take 2 CR123s. The voltage is too high for this the electronics in this flashlight. It's a very simple design. It's an S2, which is very common. You'll see other manufacturers make an S2. The S2 isn't the model number, it's really more the style of the flashlight tube, which I guess is something I'm learning as I go along through budget light forums. It comes with a little lanyard there, which is pretty decent. A little rubberized clicky. And it does tail stand, which is kind of neat. Right now, not on the towel, but it will tail stand. It's actually show you on frame. The rubber boot does not go above the end, so it will tail stand. Give you a look in there. It has a kind of an orange peel reflector in there. Pretty deep for what it is. Now this sucker is very bright. You're talking like 800 lumens. But the interesting thing about it is the beam. The beam is all flood. There's very little hot spot in it, and the hot spot is very diffused. So as you go through the different modes, you can see, now we're on the lighter mode, you can see there is no, the hot spot is very, just almost non-existent. It's very, it's a flood. This is a flood, flood versus throw. This is more of a flood style light, which I think makes it really good for EDC. It does have a memory mode. If I didn't mention, you change the modes by half click. So you can, of course, if you want to use this as an everyday carry, say you work dangerous job, security, something like that, and you want something that will strobe, this does return, which I probably hit the button a little extra there, but it does have a memory mode, which is pretty cool. The cons of this light aren't too many. Number one, it gets blazingly hot. If you run this for about 10 minutes on high, it's going to scorch you. It will probably even burn you. So you do have to be careful with that. It does say it has a low voltage cutoff and warning. I guess the light is supposed to flash at low voltage, which I haven't gotten it there yet. I do not drain my 18650s very low. It is that whole lithium-ion safety thing, guys. If you're not aware, you really need to look it up because you don't want to drain your 18650s down to nothing. Let's see, what else can we say? I mean, this thing's a great little flashlight. There are some accessories. There are, you can get a belt clip for it, and I believe there's all kinds of replacement parts you can buy and put in there. This is one of the most popular flashlights for people when it comes to modifying that tend to do a lot with these. There is a whole lot you can do. So when you are buying it, one thing you're going to have to pay attention to is that one flashlight to the next, you're going to have different operations and all that. And one other thing which I forgot to mention, which completely, I can't believe it didn't cross my mind there, is earlier when we were on low, you saw it blink. Right there. Now that is actually how you change into a different mode. We're going to turn this off and turn it back on, and I'm going to show you. Because this has 2 sets of modes. So once again, it's going to blink. When it does, turn it off. Now what that's going to do is now we're in a different set of modes, and we're in a 3 mode setting. No strobe, no beacon. So you can set this between a 3 and a 5 mode flashlight. So if you don't like strobe, you don't like beacon, you can turn those right off. Really cool. Turn it back, same exact way. Turn it on low. Wait for it to flash, turn it off, turn it back on, and you got your strobe back. So, pretty neat, huh guys? A lot of good use out of this flashlight. For the price, this thing is an absolute killer. 14, 15 bucks, buy 3 of these things, guys. The 18650 batteries are really good for cold storage, so if you want a good flashlight to keep in your car over the winter, this is a fantastic option. If you are, say, a security guard, you're outside in the cold all day long, you want a flashlight that's battery is not going to drain in the cold, nice little flashlight. You know, it takes those 18650s. A lot of runtime, 1 hour on high, you're talking like 10 hours on low. You know, it's a lot of time, good for, you know, an 8-hour shift. You know, if you had to run the thing the whole time in low mode. So, your lumens are going to vary depending on the setup you get, as I mentioned. And overall, this thing's pretty neat. They're pretty tough little guys for the money. They're not, you know, they're not a through night. They're not an olight. You can't run your car over it. You can't throw it off a bridge. It is water, you know, waterproof, you know, but it's not going to be as tough as some of those other lights. It does have springs on both ends, so it can accommodate all different kinds of 18650s. I do recommend only using the protected though, just, you know, kind of for your own safety. And it has the anodized threads so that you can turn the tail cap and lock out the light. So if you don't want to worry about this coming on in your pocket, you just turn that tail cap, you're talking quarter turn, and it will lock it out, which is a great feature. I really love when manufacturers do that. It's really helpful and gives me a little bit of extra safe feeling to know that I'm not going to have this really super hot flashlight going off in my backpack and possibly overdraining the battery or melting something. It definitely gets that hot. So there it is, guys, the Convoy S2 Plus. All different versions, all different colors, all different LEDs and packages. Just very cool for the money, and you know, very glad I picked this up from Gearbest. It was definitely worth the cash.